And as the CEO of your life, you have to make the decision, like, is this the best use of my time right now? Jason has graced us with his presence for the day. So we've been spending some one-on-one time together and looking at construction and talking about business and how to build businesses and how to grow a lifestyle business, in a way that you're going to enjoy your fucking lifestyle later. So I think that's it's very interesting communication for the last few hours between him and I, and he might chime in on occasion here and there. Is sitting at the table with me. The construction stuff's coming along well. I know you've been wondering about it. A lot of you are going to be over here. Another guest tomorrow. A few on the phone the next week. Another guest next week. So a lot of folks on the mastermind group have chosen to spend some one-on-one time together, and I'm looking forward to that as well. I'll get a couple words out of you, sir. It's an awkward camera situation here, but they can hear you if you speak at least. So how's your day going?
Very good so far.
Maybe come over here and stand over my shoulder awkwardly, and we'll have a fun communication. Yeah, just bend in here like a weirdo behind you.
I mean, the biggest thing about working with Derek one-on-one is like there hasn't been a time that it hasn't paid off with like a serious return on my life. Whether it's like financially, all his programs have paid off for themselves, and then even one-on-one, it's like you get so much more clarity in life that it just really made sense to me that when you invited me to work with you one-on-one, it's something that you're going to do. But
what do you notice going on? I don't want to control the communication much, say whatever you want, but what do you notice going on? We spent the last few hours around a construction site, and what do you see? Any random thoughts of manager style or outcome of product or anything else that may be stuck in your head?
I mean, people have said this before, but it's really your like acute management to detail, and like even I saw things that I wasn't sure if you would notice, but sure enough, you had already noticed them. And really dealing with everyone there on the job site, it's surprising to go there and see like such a amount of mutual respect for people. You know what I mean? It's that you're there to do business, so are they, and it's all like just very cordial.
I talk real nice with the guys.
Yeah, like to be fair, sometimes I don't want to speak of you, but sometimes you can be like sound brash, but you're actually very respectful, cordial, and no, this is how it gets done.
There's a polite way to say, "What the fuck is this?"
Yes.
Say, "Hey, I noticed this piece of shit over here. What the fuck is this? Could you have one of the guys come over and take a look at this?" I have that communication every day. But I'd agree that if you gotta raise your voice a lot on a job site, even dealing with construction type people, which sometimes it pays to raise your voice, but if you gotta raise your voice all the time to get something done, you're not really in charge of the situation. I don't think a good manager is supposed to be raising his voice all the time yelling about something. I can only think of a couple of times, maybe two for sure, maybe three times that I raised my voice on that job site in a year. In over 11 months, and if you knew those people, if you knew those people, 3 times. I can think of three times. Any other thoughts? You mentioned attention to detail. You mentioned respect between the project managers and myself. What did you get out of it? What did you learn hanging around there that might be useful to you or useful to them?
The job site?
Yeah, or just our day together so far.
I mean, a lot of it was what we talked about, kind of really having a lot of clarity in what you want to get done, because it's interesting to go to that job site and see kind of like what Derek's been talking about, and then actually seeing how you created it and seeing,
Look at the quality of the ceiling. I mentioned this to you. You look at the blemishes here, and that's a light fixture that we moved, so that's not fair. But look at the texture or the blemishes in the ceiling versus what we created.
There's a few divots and what almost look like pockets.
Yeah, a couple things. And this is a normal ceiling. It's not a bad ceiling. It's just a normal ceiling. But, I had the guy spend 4 or 5 weeks just skim coating and sanding the ceiling to perfection, or as perfect as you can make it, Mm-hmm. And you can't rush things. If you want things at a high level, then it's a process. It's a process of accomplish something, guard it so it doesn't get fucked up. Because the next tradesperson will come in and fuck up your ceiling. Smack it with a piece of furniture or some trim or whatever, and keep making progress without going backwards. Minimize the going backwards and make progress on the next thing and the next thing. And I want the damn thing, really close to perfect at the end, but it's a process. But I didn't mean to take back the communication. What else would you share? What else are you thinking?
For me, I really appreciated the one-on-one time, where it's, you didn't have to spend as much time as you did, but you went, above and beyond the amount of time we're supposed to spend together.
What was useful there?
What the?
Just in our conversations, in our private conversations. You don't have to say private things, but bigger picture, macro. What was useful about that? Did it help you clarify some of your concerns coming in here? Some of the thoughts you were having about where to go or what to do next with your business?
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, the amount of clarity you get working one-on-one with Derek, because if you can explain to him kind of how you're thinking about it in a nuanced way, he knows how to respond way better than it is through just a little message. It's a sad thing that you can't get.
But thank you. Appreciate your comments on it, and we might have you chime back in here later. What was the other the communication thing that I wanted to share that we chatted about earlier? Was about he and I had in our conversation earlier, it came up that when you're communicating with other people, when somebody asks you a question or when someone tries to interrupt your life, some people think it's rude to ignore them. Or when a bum, and that doesn't just mean a homeless creature, but when a bum of any sort, when a middle class person tries to interrupt your life and doesn't have your best intentions in mind, or any person, if an extremely rich person tries to interrupt your life and doesn't have your best intentions in mind, a really effective strategy is just to fucking ignore them. And you have to think to yourself that when someone's saying words to you, when someone's attempting to communicate with you, it's a request for communication. It's a request for you to stop what you're doing and give them your attention and share a piece of your life with them. And you don't fucking owe that to anybody. And as the CEO of your life, you have to make the decision, is this the best use of my time right now? As the CEO of your life, you have to make the decision, do I want to allow this stranger, or someone familiar for that matter, do I want to allow this person to interrupt my life, to slow down my day, to throw me out of my rhythm perhaps? A lot of times the answer should be no. Most of the time the answer should be no. So unless someone's coming to you and they have your best interest in mind, they're there to help your life in some mutually cooperative way, I think you should ignore people more frequently and say no to a lot more people. You're in charge of your time. Nobody's in charge of your time management except you. Nobody's in charge of your future outcomes, your emotional state, except you. So when somebody wants to interrupt your life, and if it's not clear that they have your best interest in mind, feel free to ignore them more. I encourage you to ignore them more. You'll be better off. You'll have more time to invest in education and your finances and your business, whatever you're doing, in fun relationships that you have, friendships. Don't let time wasters, don't let them interrupt your life. Stop doing this to yourself. If you are or are on your way to be a millionaire or multimillionaire, probably going to want to spend time with my clients. Probably going to want to have a personal relationship with me so we can accelerate that process, get you living up to your maximum potential, earning your maximum wage. You're going to want to click that follow button. You're going to want to click that bell and get notifications. Tune in every Friday. Tune in every Monday. You're going to love what you see. I look forward to having you as a client in the future.